All right, guys. So we have a CNN debate upcoming shortly. And there's a bunch of aspects of this that are really sketchy that I wanted to share with you. So here's what they say in CNN. Trump, Haley, and DeSantis qualify for CNN Iowa debate. Now, by the way, they mentioned Trump. Trump's not coming. In fact, Trump is putting a giant middle finger up to this debate by doing a Fox News town hall in the exact same time slot opposite this debate. Okay? So this whole putting Trump in, it's just wishful thinking. They want him to be there. He's not going to be there. Pathetic. Anyway, let me read you some of this. Former President Donald Trump, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis qualified for CNN's January 10th Republican presidential primary debate in Iowa, the network announced Tuesday. The debate is a final opportunity for a candidate to make an impression in front of a national audience before voting begins. That's right, man. Voting's going to begin really, really soon. This is crazy. Haley and DeSantis have said they will participate in the debate, which will take place at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on January 10th at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. Trump, who skipped the first 4 2024 GOP primary debates, has not. Just 5 days before the Iowa caucus kicks off the GOP's nominating race, will be a one-on-one clash between the two candidates vying to emerge as the party's lone clear alternative to the former president. DeSantis' path to the GOP nomination likely depends on a strong showing in Iowa's January 15th caucuses. Haley, meanwhile, has climbed in the polls in New Hampshire, where a strong performance in the January 23rd primary there could also prove as a springboard ahead of her home state's February 24th primary. Haley and DeSantis will also appear on CNN for back-to-back town halls on Thursday. On the campaign trail in recent days, DeSantis... Okay, let me just pause real quick. 1 second here. So CNN is giving Haley and DeSantis back-to-back town halls, and they're also having a debate with them. Is there anything for Marianne Williamson and Dean Phillips and Cenk Uygur? Anything? Anything at all? No? No. Okay. I didn't think so. On the campaign trail in recent days, DeSantis has repeatedly criticized Trump for refusing to participate in GOP primary debates. Quote, he has not been willing to come here and answer questions, DeSantis told reporters last week in Elkader, Iowa. He parachutes in for 30, 45-minute hour speeches and then just leaves rather than listening to Iowans, answering questions, and doing, I think, what it takes to win. CNN's Iowa debate will be moderated by Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. Okay, here we go. This is where it gets sketchy. To qualify for participation in the Iowa debate, candidates must receive at least 10% in 3 separate national and/or Iowa polls of Republican caucus goers or primary voters that meet CNN's standards for reporting according to the network. All right, hold on. They never have a threshold this high, ever. Usually it's it varies. You got to get at least 1% or 2% or 3%, maybe on rare occasions they say 5%, but at least 10%, and it has to be only hand-picked CNN, we're okay with this one. One of the 3 polls must be an approved CNN poll of likely Iowa Republican caucus goers. The qualifying window for polls to count toward the Iowa debate closed at noon on Tuesday. So look at all these, look at all the ways they try to change it, right? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Did you come out with a poll where you hit it after the fact? Well, I'm sorry, but it closed at noon on Tuesday, the number of polls that we accepted. Why? Why would it close? What are you talking about? So over 10%, which is a threshold that's far above and beyond any other time these things are done. So I don't agree with that. CNN gets to choose, oh no, we're okay with those ones, we're not okay with that one. And they arbitrarily put a limit where it's anything after this, no, we don't take it. Wow. Talk about putting your thumb on the scale. 3 current candidates have appeared on stage in some previous debates. Vivek Ramaswamy, Chris Christie, and Asa Hutchinson did not meet the qualification requirements. CNN will hold a second debate on January 21st in New Hampshire at New England College ahead of the state's primary. The location was originally announced as St. Anselm College. Okay. So Vivek came out and said some stuff about this. Now, most of the stuff he says is typical Vivek bloviating and stupidity. But these 2 parts I found interesting. On December 14th, CNN threatened my campaign on the phone with a cease and desist and had YouTube black out the town hall after it got 200,000 views on YouTube in a matter of hours. Yet Nikki Haley's CNN town hall was still up after 6 months and had 68,000 total views. Later on December 14th, CNN notified my campaign that multiple qualifying polls, which the RNC used for each of the RNC debates, mysteriously wouldn't count for CNN's fake debate in Iowa on January 10th. Wow, okay. So let me break this down for you. What he's saying is, hey, I did a CNN town hall, and I posted it on YouTube, and they told me you need to take it down. Or we're going to hit you with, we're going to copyright it. We're going to hit a cease and desist. We're going to do here. And so they forced him to take it down, but they kept Nikki Haley's up, even though it was doing worse. And then the polls that he brought to CNN say, look, I can participate. I reached even your absurd lines and benchmarks, which are way too aggressive. I even reached that, and they go, nope, we're not accepting these polls because we say so. So look, let me be clear. I am not a fan of any of these loathsome idiots, okay? I despise Vivek Ramaswamy. Not a big fan of Chris Christie. He's terrible on policy, even though he's right on like January 6th and Trump stealing the election and all that shit. Asa Hutchinson barely exists. I don't even think his family knows that he's running. He has the personality of watching paint dry. I mean, I can say negative things about all these people. All of them, okay? But having said that, it's very clear what CNN is doing here, right? They're saying, look, we want the alternative to Trump to be Nikki Haley. DeSantis, unfortunately, we can't deny because his poll numbers are too high. He's been in second virtually the entire time for this race. He's been the default fallback option for Republican primary voters. It's too, we can't even craft rules and regulations where we exclude him because it's just not possible. Anything we do to exclude him would also exclude Nikki Haley. So they want Haley. They can't get rid of DeSantis. They can't get Trump because Trump's just refusing to do it. And so they've narrowed it down for you to two people. And this is how the game is played, right? Just like I said, they don't have a debate plan for Dean Phillips and Marianne Williamson and Cenk Uygur. They don't have a debate plan for them. They're not going to do a debate with them. I'm not even sure they're going to report on the fact that 4 different states have now come out and said, we're not having a Democratic primary. We are unilaterally declaring that Biden wins. It was Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida, and Massachusetts, I believe. Nope, we're against a Democratic primary. We're just going to do an authoritarian takeover, axe the entire election, and just declare Biden wins. I'm not even sure they're going to cover that. So this is how the game is played. They could take down Trump. If they had the ability, they would do it. They can, right? But they narrow it down for you. Now, I don't think Vivek Ramaswamy would win Iowa or would win New Hampshire. I don't think Asa Hutchinson or Chris Christie. Chris Christie's actually not doing horribly. I believe it's in New Hampshire. But I don't think there's that much of a effect at this late date. But it just shows you how they limit your choices, how the game is played, how they try to narrow it. Hey, here's what's in the parameters of acceptable. Look, I'm at the point now, I told you guys this before. First of all, it should be a law that these people have to debate. Trump skipping it, he literally shouldn't be allowed to do that if he wants to be president. That's number one. Number two, you should absolutely have reasonable standards that are across the board that are correct. Standards like, hey, you got to hit 1% in the polls or 2% in the polls. Nothing, you need 27,000 signatures and you have to hit 10% in the polls and it's got to be these particular ones that we handpick. No, fuck that. The ways in which they fuck with the democratic process, the way the media does it, the way the DNC does it, the way the RNC does it. It's unacceptable. And, people are on to the game that they're playing. They see through this naked attempt to try to engineer outcomes, right? They're not even good at the thing that they do. It's so naked and obvious and blatant what they're really trying to do here. So I have no love for Vivek. I have no love for Asa Hutchinson or Chris Christie. But why the hell shouldn't they be on that stage, right? Why shouldn't they be on the stage? Chris Christie in particular is doing pretty damn well in New Hampshire. Vivek Ramaswamy is not doing as well in New Hampshire or Iowa, but nationally he's got some half-decent poll numbers. Why shouldn't they be on the stage? Why shouldn't they? Well, CNN decided we don't want them. We want it to be Nikki versus Trump. She's the only one who we really think has a chance. We can't axe DeSantis because he's polling too well. So we're just going to have Nikki versus DeSantis and play this weird kabuki theater game as if it really matters when Trump's leading by 1,000 points. Oh, and we won't say anything about Biden stealing the election from Marianne Williamson and Dean Phillips and Cenk Uygur and refusing to even have a Democratic vote as he sucks himself off and acts like he's the savior of democracy against Donald Trump. Piss off, man. It's so manipulative and so gross, and we're the only ones talking about it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.